the kettle on, I'll be done in 10 minutes. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is Red Rumours, your weekly Manchester United transfer news. We've got Mourinho, Fellaini to PSG, question mark. We've got Timo Werner snubbing Liverpool for Manchester United. Decore from Watford now on Manchester United's radar. We've also got Willian, Milankovic-Savic and no, it's the wrong time of the year. But hello and welcome to the United Stand. I hope you're all well. Smash that like button. We're going to start off Jose Mourinho, not about PSG. I want to start off with something else here. Isn't it funny this week how the press have not mentioned Mourinho? They love to talk about Mourinho. It's their favourite topic. Park the bus Mourinho. He's lost the dressing room Mourinho. Mourinho's not the right man for Manchester United Mourinho. But Manchester United losing 2-0 with 40 minutes to go, come back and win 3-2 with all-out attack, you'd think that'd be all over the press. If it was Pep or Klopp, they'd be handing out knighthoods. But because it's Mourinho, it no fit with the agenda. So there's no mention of Mourinho this week from the anti-press. Just hold that in your head, because I know a lot of you are unsure about Mourinho, but this is the agenda press we live in, and that all they want to feed you is negativity about our manager. Just hold it there. Anyway, maybe feeling you a little bit of negativity here, but I'm gonna crush it. Don't worry. So apparently PSG feel that Marouane Fellaini is exactly what their midfield needs. They needed something last night, didn't they? They needed Verratti not to lose his head. But Fellaini, sorry, we'll mention Mourinho in a minute. Fellaini, they are apparently going to offer him £6 million a year to go and to get him out of Manchester United, which is around £250,000 a week for Fellaini. Now, this is news that we're meant to react to as Manchester United fans, I suppose. But look, whatever you think about Fellaini, he's not really worth 120 grand a week. So if that's what we've got to compete with, let him go for that price, I would say. The reason I've mentioned Mourinho, though, is PSG are looking for another manager. Emery will get the sack. They're talking about Wenger, there's talk about Conte, there's talk about Enrique. But remember, there was talk about Mourinho around December time. He didn't crush it himself. He was like, Paris is a nice place. I like what they're doing. I personally am ecstatic that PSG got knocked out by Real Madrid last night. Good one, Ronnie, because it's immoral. They don't make anywhere near that money. They're in a pub league. They're funded from Qatar like a certain other club. It is immoral what they tried to do. I don't want a team like that winning the Champions League. And you can say Manchester United are loaded, but you know what? Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, self-funded clubs through massive support who put a lot of money into the club. I ain't got a problem. I've got a massive problem if Liverpool win anything because I dislike them through historic rivalry, but I respect the fact that they make their own money. PSG, I don't. So I don't agree with Mourinho on that. Would Mourinho go to PSG? I think there's there's not zero chance. I don't think there's a good chance of it happening. I'm obviously a Mourinho fan. I want him to stay at Manchester United, but it just dropped into my head. Imagine Manchester United lose to Liverpool and Sevilla. I know it's a nightmare. Don't imagine it for longer than this few seconds. If we lose to Liverpool at the weekend, the positivity that Mourinho's got from that Palace result will disappear. It'll be like, yeah, but we were 2-0 down to a team that was injury ravaged and they're in the bottom three. We faced somebody half decent at home and they beat us. He's negative, he's rubbish. If we then lose to Sevilla, we're out the Champions League as well. In a week's time, we lose those two games and suddenly me saying Mourinho could go to PSG because they haven't got a manager suddenly seems far more realistic. At the moment, I think there's no chance and I don't think he wants to go. But football can change very quickly. But Fellaini, I think if they're offering him that money, he definitely should go. I want to give Fellaini is a greedy money hog. He wanted to go, says Nital. Sandeep says De Gea staying would be great news this summer, like last two summers. And Jesse James, I like the name, says not confident about us getting past Sevilla and Liverpool getting through has done my head in. I was going to tell you a little story as well about the live comments. There used to be somebody on, I've not seen him on for a while, called Jesse Pinkman. I assumed it was his real name until I saw Breaking Bad the other week. We've had a super chat there from Sammy Harper. Take the L. I don't know why I'm taking the L. Can somebody tell me why we're taking the L? We don't know why we're taking the L, so we'll move on. Anyway, so Milankovic-Savic, I just want to have a little bit of an update on him. Lazio already are linked with a potential replacement for him. For anybody who watches Italian football like me, you may have watched the watch-along on That's Football between Lazio and Juventus at the weekend, which Juventus won with the Dybala goal right at the end. Lazio's not a particularly well-supported club. It's a big club in Italy, but it's not particularly well-supported. And I reckon that he will definitely leave Lazio this summer, and Manchester United certainly need to be at the front of that queue. So positive things around Milankovic-Savic, and I think he would be absolutely perfect for us. I want to mention Willian from Chelsea as well, because he's said that he wants a new contract at Chelsea. He's approaching 30. I think he's in brilliant form for Chelsea this season, and Conte for some reason doesn't always pick him. He has gone with Pedro and Hazard, but I think Willian would be very, very good for Manchester United. But I'm going to be controversial and say no, because he's another player touching 30, and I think United need to be going younger than this. I remember somebody saying a couple of weeks ago, Mourinho's plan for United is starting to worry them because it's a bit short-termism. Everybody's nearly 30. What happens in 2 or 3 years when we lose people like Matic and Sanchez? Talking about Alexis Sanchez, by the way, the Chilean media, because he is from Chile, is that Sammy Harper's just made another contribution saying take shade under the L. We don't know what the L is all about. The Chilean media not happy with Sanchez at Manchester United making the move and feel that he's going backwards and he's nowhere near the player he should be. Food for thought, I suppose. Stefan De Vrij is available on a free. Says what? He's not. He's going to Inter Milan, mate. And Milankovic-Savic, I think, is overrated. I would not pay £90 million for a Balkan player, says Boris. I don't think the Balkan bit comes anything to do with it, to be honest. United on the brink of collapse, says Mark. I don't know about that. Louise O'Donoghue, I like Willian, but I do not want him now. A couple of things from the media that are genuinely, well, certainly in the case of Timo Werner, plays for RP Leipzig, German, international, just turned 21, 6 foot, can play left wing, right wing, or up front. Scored quite a few goals this season. Talented, fast player. He has been playing up front a lot. One of those players, you know, being German as well, playing in that league, you'll probably end up going to Bayern Munich, but he has been quoted as saying that he dreams of playing in the Premier League for Manchester United. It would be Manchester United or Liverpool, but he wants to win titles, so it's Manchester United. High five, Timo Werner. I mean, I don't think he's coming to Manchester United this year. He did say in a few years, but I like the comment. It did make me laugh, so fair dues to him. Fair dues to him. I can't do my Scouse accent anymore. Somebody just asked me to do it. It's terrible. So Daniel's made a contribution. He says, hi Mark. Hi Sir Daniel. Maybe he's changed his name. I don't know. Sanchez needs to leave Manchester United, says Yusuf. I tell you what, I've had a few people contacting me today. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but a lot of people starting to turn on Paul Pogba. I think we might have to do a video on that. I just don't get the... I don't get the negativity around Paul Pogba at all. I think, you know, Gary Neville said that he's... it's like a video game. It's all a big laugh to him. You know, maybe he does. Sammy Harper says the whole chat's taken an hour, just like Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool are going to take a big L on Saturday lunchtime, I hope so. But yeah, Pogba, I just think, you know, we need to chill out about Pogba. At times this season, he's been absolutely fantastic. I just think, I think it's so simple. It's so simple. The problem with Pogba at the moment is, and the problem with Sanchez, because Sanchez isn't playing well, don't be fooled by the fact that he puts a lot of effort in. He is nowhere near the player I thought we were going to sign, and it's not his fault, and it's not Pogba's fault. They're operating in the same area, and they're cancelling each other out, and it's affecting both their games. As soon as we sort that out, you'll see the real Pogba, and we'll see the real Sanchez, and hopefully we'll see Martial back on the left. So I don't think Timo Werner will happen. One player that I think a lot of people have heard of is Ryan Sessegnon at Fulham. Really talented young lad. I think he's just about to turn 18 in the summer. Pretty, you know, left-sided player. Has been playing at left back. Plays on the left wing as well. He's got nearly 20 goals in 60 appearances for Fulham. He is going to be, I would say, if he avoids injury and keeps developing, I would say Ryan Sessegnon's probably going to be England's best player in about 4 or 5 years' time. Certainly one of the best players in Europe. He is going to be that good. A lot of people have been linked to him. Spurs, United. Apparently he doesn't want to come to Manchester United. He wants to go and play for Liverpool. He wants to go and play for Klopp. He wants to go and play for the club that he supported all his life. And he wants to never win a Premier League title. What can you do? What can you do? I mean, maybe it's only paper talk with Ryan Sessegnon, but... would he come to Manchester United anyway? I think with Jose Mourinho in charge, I don't think he's the sort of player we're going to go for. I don't see us going and signing players under 20 with Mourinho that are going to be first teamers. I think there is an element of Mourinho at the moment, probably to do with the fact that he's trying desperately to close that gap with Man City, that he doesn't want to take, you know, he never stays anywhere longer than 3 years. I think he will stay longer than 3 years at Manchester United if he has a good 18 months from now. I think he'll stay longer. But he has to think about brand Mourinho, and I don't blame him for that, because brand Mourinho successful means brand Manchester United successful, which means Manchester United fans are happy. And he has basically got the next sort of year, especially, a massive for Mourinho. You know, you see the press against him. You see, we lose on Saturday, and everyone will be against him again. One bad result, and he hasn't got a lot of love in the bank because people don't like the football that he plays. So he has to be about results here and now, and I think that is why he won't go and sign a Ryan Sessegnon, because he hasn't got 2 or 3 years to develop him. He needs players now, which is why we signed Matic at 29, which is why we signed Sanchez at 29, which is why we've signed Zlatan at 35. This is why we've gone and signed these sort of players now, because he needs that instant success. So I don't think Ryan Sessegnon would be there. Christian Pulisic, as Pankaj says, is another good one I would really like. There are 2 Sessegnons, Sandeep. There used to be another one, Steven Sessegnon. I think he was at Stoke or something. Decore is a player I want to bring up next, Pratik, actually. Just about to turn 25, Watford player. I think he's their top scorer this year. Scored about 7 goals. He you know, I've got him in my fantasy football team. He's been a very, very effective player for Watford this season. What is he? Do you know much about him? He is your quintessential box-to-box. He's not blisteringly fast, but he's quite fast. He's good in the tackle. He's good in the build-up play. He's got a very good shot on him, and Manchester United are linked to him, as are Arsenal and Liverpool. I don't know whether Manchester United would go for him. I've heard that we are in for Fabinho, and we want Fabinho, and we'll battle whoever for Fabinho. Now, whether Fabinho wants to go to PSG like he did last summer, or whether Man City could nick him, I don't know. But Manchester United are interested in Fabinho. That's what I've been told, which is music to my ears. I'd love us to get Fabinho and Milankovic-Savic, as I said on that show a couple of weeks ago. But if we don't get either of those targets, then maybe you start looking at Decore. I quite like Idrissa Gueye at Everton. I quite like him a lot. I think he's very similar to Decore in the fact that box to box can get... I mean, what we're looking for is some speed across the ground, some tenacity in the tackle. We've got Liverpool on Saturday, and we've spoken. Can you play McTominay in that game? You know, he is quite slow. He is very similar to Matic. We need a little bit more mobility. Maybe we chuck Lindelof in there. Can we get Man City's medical team on Herrera and get him back? You know, so that's probably why we're linked to someone like Decore, because he's exactly the sort of midfielder that we need at the moment. Just on... Don Gray says, come on, Marchio, Mourinho is committed. Part of his new deal is mega bucks for next season, for God's sake. Don, I think he will be here. I do think he'll be here. But what I was, you know, the only reason I throw it out is that he had been linked to PSG before. PSG are now looking for a new manager. And I wrongly, I think Mourinho will be here next year. But I bring it up because we are a United fan community, and it's wrong to ignore any potential news stories before they hit the press. And I just think with Mourinho, everything's good at the moment. I think even the Mourinho unsure people about Mourinho will be very happy with what happened on Monday. But we've got two biggest games of the season, Liverpool and then Sevilla. Lose both of those, and I know, because I saw it at Christmas, which I thought was unfair, and we've seen it recently. Lose those 2 games, and people will be saying he's not the right man again. And if that happens again, then why wouldn't PSG be an option for him? You know, they've got the money to buy him out of his contract. I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think Mourinho wants it to happen. And Manchester United don't want it to happen. And most Manchester United fans like me don't want it to happen. But we've got to be wide awake to the fact that if we lose the next 2 games, anything can happen. And I still think it would stay, but it's worth a mention. And just on Mourinho as well, not to worry people, but he is in Russia this summer for the World Cup. He's covering the World Cup with Russian TV. So somebody's obviously picked up on this straight away and said, well, what about transfers for Manchester United? The transfer window closes on August the 9th. He's going to be away for a massive portion of it. I don't know where it's come from, but it's come out that Mourinho will give his list to Woodward, and Woodward will be left to deal with it. Now, let's not forget, Mourinho apparently gave a list to Woodward last summer, and we didn't make our first signing till the end of June. Matic didn't get brought in. No, we brought Lindelof in. Lukaku was the end of June, early July, and then we didn't get Matic in till the end of July. So Woodward needs to be a lot quicker with that list this summer. because it is going to be chaotic. The World Cup can bump prices up. You can also get a few red herrings from having a good World Cup. So I think hopefully United have got their team set up in relation to who they want, and they can get those deals done sooner rather than later. Mohammed Ashan Ijaz says we need to play versus Liverpool like Spurs did 4-1. Does anybody know, actually, just dropped into my head, Milankovic-Savic, Serbia, are they in the World Cup? I should know this because Matic, but there we go. Sammy Harper wants to be a moderator. I'll put it to the live comments. I think telling everyone to take an hour will probably mean that they'll say no. Yusuf Hassan, you are a troll, says Sandeep. Okay, that's nice. Why hasn't Jose bought a house in Manchester yet, says Pankaj? I don't think, if I'm right, I think Pep Guardiola lives in a hotel as well. So, you know, you can't be too negative about that. What's happening with Laurent Blanc, PSG manager? He seems decent and is jobless. I don't think you can judge Blanc because he managed PSG. You've got the open checkbook, isn't it? He needs to go and do a proper job. Akash says Serbia qualified. I thought they did, so that means Milankovic-Savic will be there as well. So will we wait till after the World Cup to do that deal? Agent Matic, he could be really useful as well, so there's a positive. Serbia topped Islands group, says Paul Jim. Mourinho talks, says Pep Guardiola's got a house. I'm wrong on that then. Oh my God, Abijat, really controversial this. You're gonna, say what you think, mate. He says Mourinho, Fellaini, Young, Lingard, Darmian, hopefully all gone this summer. Well, I agree with you on Fellaini. I agree with you on Darmian. I don't agree with you on Lingard and Mourinho. And Ashley Young, he'll keep Ashley Young, even though he's 33. I think he'll keep Ashley Young. I'm just about to yawn live on air. That's no good, is it? Imagine what Jose would do with a team like PSG, Shavon says. Well, the attraction for Mourinho at PSG would be the open checkbook. That's what he would like. That's what we would all like. I'm not criticising him that. I would love it. So, check what Laurent Blanc has done with Bordeaux then. Top in his Champions League group, including Juventus and Bayern. Oh, I'm getting some stick because of Laurent Blanc. I don't want Laurent Blanc anywhere near United. Kieran King Eric says, do you play Fortnite, Mark? If you don't, take a big L. I'm taking L in the Super Chats today. I haven't played Fortnite. I asked somebody about Fortnite on the watch along on Football. That's Football the other day. Is Fortnite on desktop or is it on a game system? That's all I wanted to know, and then I might have a look at it. We've got to keep the hail in, says Sally Devil Red. Lean. That's an Alan Partridge thing. We need Asensio, Ericsson or Kroos, says Mohammed. He would destroy PSG with boring football. I mean, in summary, obviously we do Red Rumours every week. Normally on a Tuesday, it's because of we'll probably do it Wednesday next week actually because there's a game. Sammy Harper says King Eric wants him to be a moderator. Thank you, Sammy Harper. I think Luke Shaw should start at the weekend. AKC F fanboy. But just in summary, in relation to transfers this summer. My focus at the moment is pretty much on midfielders. Mourinho said he's not going to buy an attacker. So, Timo Werner, everybody else. Matthew McFadden's just delivered an L as well. Thanks for that. We're taking the L's all over the place. And Fortnite is cross-platform. It's been said. Everyone says it's on PC. I might have a look at it then. I might have a look at it. Can you use your keys? Neymar killed that open checkbook. PSG need to sell more players, says Robert Paquet. And how are you getting us Fabinho? How sure are you of us getting Fabinho, Adam Smith? I think United are in for Fabinho. As I say, I've heard it from somebody I do listen to. And but I'm not going to say we're getting Fabinho. It's not like the news I had about Alexis Sanchez. He's definitely coming. Yeah. I know that we're in for Fabinho, but... well, presuming the person who told me is right, which they sometimes are. But I don't think just United are in for Fabinho. I think PSG are in for him, and I think Man City might be in for him. So it could be a battle, but I'd love us to get him. I think it'd be great, and I think the big reason Mourinho wants him is he's 6'2", so he's got that height element, but also he can play right back and he can play centre back if at a push. But he is a good right back, and he is a very good centre defensive midfielder. And obviously Valencia. I don't know what's going on with Valencia at the moment, but he is definitely, into his 30s, so we need to be looking at that. Who do I think will win the World Cup? Brazil or Germany? Would I take Joachim Low at United? Anton Muller? No. And United should buy Forsberg. What do you think, Mark? He's good. John Tesfaye. He's good. But I don't think we're going to sign an attacker. And Dimitri Mitchell has returned, says Eric Ross from Hearts, because he's injured. Thanks everyone for watching anyway. Mark, I've done that. Right, okay. Thanks everyone for watching. I know it's a lunchtime show. We've got a lot of people watching, which is great. So please smash a like on the video if you like Red Rumours. We do it once a week. It's a roundup of all the latest transfer news. And it's great to be able to do it live on a lunchtime, which is great. We are not live tonight at 8 o'clock. I must tell everybody that. I am live tonight at 8 o'clock, but I'm not live here. I'm doing That's Football. It's That's Football YouTube channel, and it's for the Spurs-Juventus game. As people will know, I do quite like watching Spurs this season, but I do like Italian football, so I want to watch that game because I'm intrigued how Juventus are going to approach it. So I'm going to be watching Juventus Spurs at 8 o'clock tonight, and it's on That's Football. In fact, I'll drop the link in here. I'll go and set up the stream. I'll drop the link in here so people can find it if they need it. So you can see me tonight at 8 o'clock for that on a watch along on That's Football. If you're going to watch Spurs Juventus, which I'm sure many of you are, that'll be good fun. 8 o'clock tonight, but we will be back tomorrow with a video at 1 o'clock, which we're going to do a combined Liverpool-Manchester United 11, which I think is going to be good fun. So join us for that tomorrow lunchtime. Thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to the United Stand if you're new. Do join us on That's Football at 8 o'clock tonight if you're watching Spurs Juventus, and I shall see you tonight or tomorrow. Thanks everyone, fantastic community, and we have got that Juan Mata shirt to give away, which we'll be doing in the next few days. So thanks everyone, really enjoyed the show as ever. Speak to you all soon. Got another L from Sammy Harper. I think that Sammy Harper might be somebody else. DT or something.